Put your hands together for Alistair Clarkson. Is it working? I don't think we got that one working, Clarko. You'll need to come here. Well done, mate. Well done. All the best for this year. Last night, just quickly, what were your thoughts on last night? Bit tall for me, night here, yeah, we're really pleased, obviously, with our first half of football. You can never anticipate that you're going to get a run on like that in a game of footy. I think we kicked 7 or 8 goals in about 10 or 12 minutes there towards the end of the first quarter. We're really pleased. We set ourselves a standard, I suppose, with the way that we played in that first part of the game. And it gave us a really good opportunity to play some of the younger guys in the second half and give them the valuable experience of AFL football at the top level. So it was a really good day for us. We progress next week into the NAB Cup and play either Adelaide or Fremantle. And yeah, but really looking forward to the season proper starting in about 3 or 4 weeks' time. And the last 4 months been long and tough, as any pre-season is. How have you seen the last 4 months?
Who?
Yeah, it has been a tough pre-season. Andrew Russell and Peter Burge and Alex Clark, our conditioning guys, do a fantastic job getting these boys ready to play competitive AFL footy. It's a very, very demanding game, as we all know. Very exciting game, but they have to work particularly hard in the 3 to 4 month period from November through to January, February, preparing themselves, getting stronger, quicker, and making good decisions when they've got the football. But the pleasing part about our pre-season this year is we've got so many more guys who have been able to consistently contribute to the pre-season and really progress their abilities over a whole range of facets within their football. And if we were having to select the side to play this week against Melbourne, I'm sure we'd have about 42 of our 44 available. So that's really exciting. This week you'll see a lot of our more senior guys return to the fold for the game. Crode and Guerra and Ladson, Jew, these sorts of guys will be playing this week. So we're trying to gear ourselves up for round 1, which should be pretty exciting against the Melbourne Footy Club. And some of the young boys that will make the trip to either Adelaide or over to Subi, that'll be a good opportunity for them to get a bit of experience with travelling. Yeah, it will be, Nigel. Funnily enough, it's not just the on-field stuff of their development that's so important, it's also how they prepare for a game, the routine, the travel, all these things. You need to get experience of how to travel, and we play something like 8 or 10 games on the road every year if you include the NAB Cup and the regional challenge. So you usually have to travel around the country a fair bit. You just can't sleep in your own bed every time you want to play the game. So you've got to get used to all those sorts of things. So for young players, it's an enormous experience for them to go through those sorts of things. 2007 behind us, 2008 is upon us. Your expectations for 2008 with this playing group? Give that to us again, Stanley. I didn't hear that, mate. Yeah, well, we want to lift ourselves up the ladder a little bit further, Stanley. Listen, we've been really pleased with our progress. We've come from a long way back over the last 3 years. This group of players have been a big part of our development over the last couple of years in particular. But obviously, we've put together a group of players now that we think can finally salute and give this club the chance to win its 10th premiership. We're not sure when that's going to be. We want it to be as soon as you guys want it to be, which would be great to be this year. But we know it's a long, tough road. It's a tough competition. But we're going to be working as hard as we possibly can. But as Sam said earlier, all our focus has been on over the pre-season is to develop in certain areas, whether it's his strength or whether it's to do with speed, whether it's to do with making good decisions with the football, or whether it's got to do with tackling. As you saw last night in the first quarter, our tackle pressure on the opposition was outstanding. But as you see, from one week to the next, it's tough. You know, last week against Sydney, we just couldn't buy a goal. Last night against Carlton, we scored more goals in the first quarter against Carlton than we did for the whole game against Sydney. So it changes from week to week. It's a tough competition, but you can rest assured that the 44 guys that represent the Hawthorn Footy Club this year will be doing everything possible to climb the ladder even further and make it a real exciting time for all our supporters and give you good hope that in the not too distant future you're going to see our 10th premiership.
Just finally, Clarko, a lot has been said about our youth and inexperience. It must be so pleasing for you to see the likes of Williams and Clark, these experienced players for us, with the form that they've shown in the last couple of weeks in their pre-season form.
Yeah, with the retirement of Vanders and Dicko and Joel Smith, you know, it's really thrown responsibility onto a lot of guys that have now been around our footy club for 5 or 6 years now, and are very, very critical, important parts of the progress of our club. And they're important for the on-field contribution that they can make, but they're obviously very, very important for the guidance and direction they give to such a young group of players. We did go on a certain strategy over the last 3 years to inject a lot of young kids into our club, and whilst the experienced guys are obviously very, very important in terms of the guidance that they give to those guys, we also expect them to make a really strong contribution. And Williams and Clark and Bateman and Mitch and Hodgie and all those guys now that have been around 5, 6, 7 years, Robbie Campbell, Campbell Brown, Rick Latson, you just go on with a stretch of names, Michael Osmond. There's a whole heap of guys that have now been around for 6 or 7 years that we're really looking to be the backbone of this footy club and the next assault on the premiership.
Thanks very much, Clarko. I'd just like to ask Sam and Clarko to stay on stage, but we're going to let the players go. So everyone, once again, wish these guys behind us all